Okay. Good morning, everybody. It is 10 a.m. Time for the Micro Moment Trading podcast. And we're here. We've got Micah just signed in. Hey, Micah. Morning. And Tim, and Randy, and myself. And so it's been a good week this week for the weather. And I'm sure many of you have had very bad weather, plus remnants of a hurricane and two more coming. So all kinds of things are going on. We had an excellent day today and excellent week so far with our micro moment trading. We're up. What were we here? We're up today almost 14%, I think. Nope. 11.053%. And for the week, it's up about 50 something, over 50%. So that's good. That's through today. So we'll probably have a 75 or 80, 90, maybe 100, depending on what it does tomorrow. And Randy did a good. Randy did a good job with his more regular covered calls. Let me put it that way. He also does some of his own versions of micro moment covered call trading. And we'll let him explain all that here in a few minutes. So Randy, why don't you? Let me start off here with Micah. He's been having cat problems this morning. I decided what you need to do to that cat that likes to eat plants.
Yeah.
Get a rubber tree leaf, one of those big rubber tree leaves.
Ooh.
That way he could just chomp on that all day,
Isn't that dangerous for cats?
Rubber tree?
Rubber tree, isn't that poisonous for cats?
I guess it'd be dangerous to anybody. So Micah, how'd it go today?
Good. No, the cat's being all right. He just likes to find the cables that are hanging just perfectly and just brush his chest slowly against it and just keep walking forward so he doesn't notice until it just unplugs the cable gently.
Yeah, Mike, let me say something I forgot to say on the introduction. I was sitting here thinking about something else. If someone wants to say something to us and your note will pop up on the screen here, you can just type in on your into YouTube there, and we can answer. We'll answer any questions you have. Just anybody individually here that you want to talk to, and also be sure and go to our website. Support just micro moment trading, www.micromomenttrading.com, and check out the website. It's got where you can sign up for our cow report, which comes out on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. Usually get it in the after. I'm sorry, it didn't come on a daily basis. It comes just on Friday, and you can sign up for that. It's free, absolutely free, and it's been published for over 20 years now. And then it's got all the emails and questions and stuff that we get from all our clients, and the answers are in there. And it's also a schedule of events that we have coming up. We have some seminars and live and online type events. Our last seminar was live before all the virus stuff, and we had it the first part of March, and we haven't had one since. We've had them online, well attended, tremendous attendance online too, and we'll continue to have them. We have some things coming up now. So now, Micah, I'm going to turn it back over to you and tell what we did today in micro moment.
Yeah, everything is going really well. We have quite a few brand new people from the seminar we had on Saturday. We had a 2-week free trial for them, so they're trying that out, and it's been really cool. We have, it's always a really cool mix of information because we have people that have been there for months with us, even people that have been there since close to the start or at the start, and then we have people that are 3 days fresh and seeing their kind of progression and seeing how the comments that the experienced people make to help guide them. Patrick today, Patrick is one of our newer clients, but he's still been around for a few weeks, and he was already typing in warning about how the paper trading fills are a little bit different, So seeing that type of effort put in by the clients to help each other is really cool. It's been a great past couple of weeks, and the trades have been great too.
Tell them about Eric. Eric, he's brand new, and all that stuff he did today, just trades all over the place. Fantastic.
Yeah. Eric is 3 days in, and he was pulling 16, 20, 30-cent trades. They were paper trades. They were virtual trades, but but I mean, he's understanding it, and the timing of his trades. Like I was watching the charts, right? And yes, you get slightly better fills on paper. It's maybe a little bit easier to fill, but the places that he was buying it was very obvious that he's understanding, and those places would have worked live. So it's a nice cushion to be able to have, even if it is not quite accurate, to be able to just go in with no risk and really learn the timing of the chart. Yeah, he's doing really well.
Fantastic. And Micah, did all those new gadgets you got help out today? Speed anything up?
I guess quite the opposite. I was rolling along, and the weirdest thing happened. Both screens filled with this. There were diagonal lines of squares, and they're all very concentrated here. I took a picture. I'll show it on here.
Okay.
It was the weirdest thing. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah, and they're straight. Yeah, and they were all different colors.
Yeah, they're like little RGB squares.
Yeah.
Both monitors just boom, and my audio went silent. Yeah. It's very weird. I'm for those of you that don't know, I'm switching up some technology things and swapping things. Got new internet service and stuff. So technology has been a little bit weird at my house, but yeah. So
well, when you get that all working, it's going to be about the same time you'll be able to tie into who's the Tesla guy? What's his name? His little satellites that have the extremely high speed. Because up where Micah is in Seattle, and this new Musk roaming satellites, he's got up hundreds and hundreds of these little satellites that are going to blanket the world as far as people having access to tie onto the internet, and the very northern tier of the states. And it's going to cover up where Mike is in Seattle. Not Mike, but Micah is in Seattle, and so he'll have this extremely fast. That's going to really be fun. That and with the new modems and stuff, probably knock you out of the room there.
It'd be very cool. Yeah, the way I see it is Elon's versus like 5G. Do you remember in the day when Blu-ray came out and HD came out at the same time?
Yep.
They were the exact same thing, and all the movies were sold on both, and they couldn't play on each other's systems.
Yeah.
Like this huge battle, and then Blu-ray won.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going on right now with the world's internet provider.
Yeah.
Elon versus 5G.
When you subscribe to the micro moment trading sessions, there's a session usually for about an hour every day of the week. That's my day of the week thing. Every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and these guys actually do the trades, and they're doing trades in their own accounts, and they're real trades. And they walk you through those trades, and it seems confusing at first. We have a proprietary chart that Micah takes control of and manages, and then as they do their trades, you're seeing that chart. You're seeing exactly and precisely like Micah typically deals with SPY. He's lately been dealing with Apple. He's rekindled that relationship, and so that chart's up there, and QQQ's up there, and SPY's up there, and then if they do something else, around the clock there, then they'll put that up there also. So it's a good service, and you just sit there and you watch them and you learn this stuff. And they're doing real trades. They're not doing trades for you, and but you learn, and you pretty soon you've got it down, just like this Lewis fella that's brand new. It's making these huge returns, and you can ask me any questions, and it's really good. It's it's probably the next best thing to this live video right here. So okay, we'll come back to you with some more stuff here in a minute. Got Tim in here. Tim actually is not in that service anymore, but we want him here today because he had one heck of a day. Did you see his trades? Those trades today he did, Micah? I mean, like 30 cents. How was the total cents you did have for the day? 35, 40 cents?
I did 52 cents today. 52 cents, huge. Total of about return.
Yeah.
So it's good morning. It was a good morning.
Tim, could you also comment on how you're feeling with Apple? I mean, we're essentially 4 days into Apple, really. I mean, it's a whole different thing now. What do you?
Yeah. Well, the one thing is, it's a lower price, which is great. Enjoying that, and Yesterday we had a nice run up to end of day, fell back overnight, and it's been falling ever since. I think Apple is being more actively traded, if you can believe that. Its volume is very high, so lots of opportunities there. I think it's back to the old days when you were doing Apple, and it certainly got my attention. So I've been doing some Apple trades. Let's look back here. Yeah. I mean, it's been very tradable.
What these gentlemen do, these trades that they do, you've got they're incredible. We're just dealing with options here, and we're in and out of trades on average probably 15 seconds to 5 seconds to 15, 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. And you're out, you're through, you're back to cash, and you don't have to worry about anything. You have to worry about what happens to the market. We don't care if it's going up or down, because if it's going down, we're going to do puts. If it's going up, we're going to do calls, and we're going to be in and out so fast. And they are. And, it's just an amazing technique. Also, the leverage. You've heard about people getting in trouble using when they use margin in their accounts to get leverage, and the margins alone. And typically a brokerage will lend you 50%. And that's really, really dangerous when you're doing our micro moment trading. So we just use leaps that are long out. So instead of getting 50% coverage on more like a margin loan, we've got probably 95 to 97% leverage, because we're only paying, $2, $1.50, something like that, $1 for that long-term leap. So it's 100 contracts, 100 shares of stock to a contract. So, you get a contract for $100. So it's not like you're using big money. And if you took only $2,000 and went into a regular account, and in fact, I suggest you do this, try this in the virtual account, put $2,000 in there one time, never going to put any more money in that, and make what Micah makes, and Tim, these guys in a day. Like today it was 12 or 13%. But if you just make 6% a week, you're going to grow, compound that $2,000 over 24 months, 2 years, into around between $700,000 and $800,000. Never put a penny into it past that initial. You just keep using that money over and over and over. It makes 6% a week, not a day, but a week, and that's what it's going to grow to. And these guys are good examples of doing that. So anyhow, what have I left out, Micah, about micro moment? Anything?
The lack of exposure overnight and throughout the day. I think it is more apparent now than ever that news can completely change everything. One piece of news, and it used to be like news would move the market, but it would need a series of events to really cause something massive. Now, I mean, honestly, somebody sneezes and you'll see a 400-point move on the Dow. We've seen that settle down a little bit since, the beginning of COVID and all this. But when that happened, when all of those Dow records were broken, I mean, I'm not sure who on here remembers the day that Dow broke the all-time record in the last hour of the market. I think it was the last 4 hours of the market, but there was a 1,300-point climb a few days into the whole COVID thing in the last 4 hours. So after that happened, we're definitely trading in a different market, and it's been so cool to learn the new aspects. But with micro moment, it doesn't matter. Right? Oftentimes something will start to move crazy, and we're like, oh, this must be news. We make our trades, and then we go look at what the news was. It really does work like that, and it's nice to not have to worry about that. Not have that.
And another, just to follow up on that, another great thing about what we do is we can be very nimble. We can react to news very, very quickly and get in and out of trades, which is a real advantage to what we do.
Yeah. The other big neat thing about that micro moment trading is, unlike Randy's trading, which has a 300-page book on that we wrote and been doing seminars for 20 years on, and Randy's been with us almost that long. But anyhow, forgetting all that stuff about how old Randy is, he still does good trades. Uh, we get, there's only one technique when you do a micro moment, and that's get out fast. Like when you see that tick turn red, you get out and you try to just lose a penny or break even or 2 cents, and you may be right back in the exact same deal 5 minutes later. And the technique is not to run up a loss, not to wait there. We never speculate. We don't get into it and sit there and wait and say, "Oh, we want to make 10 cents. We want to make 15 cents here." Yeah, you get into it. If you see 2 or 3 cents, you need to get out. You just don't sit around and wait for it to turn or something like that. We don't speculate at all. And as a result, we have these huge returns. Had that service 70 weeks now, and we've been doing those a lot longer, but we've just had it as a subscription service for 70 weeks, and we average 92.005% per week. We have averaged that per week. Incredible returns. And you're only maybe working an hour a day. It's not, you don't sit there and do it all day. You do it. Most people just do that first session, and then they're through after about an hour, and that's it. So.
That is the combined returns of the coaches. So
exactly, yeah. Those aren't individual returns; those are the coaches. And anyhow, it's super technique. The okay,
Micah,
now let's talk.
Micah, who's that lad you have with you?
this is my buddy. He always looks so depressed. I feel bad showing him because he's a very sad dog. We rescued him from a pretty rough situation, so he's just a little bit. I don't know what he's. What are you doing, buddy? Oh,
don't let me.
He's found a treat.
Well, that's a dog.
Boy. Yeah.
I thought you had a cat.
I have both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a cutie pie. Yeah. One day, Tim and and Randy, his cat was up on top of his desk there, fell down onto and it was just during the seminar, fell down onto. No, it was doing this thing, wasn't it? Did the podcast.
Yeah.
Fell in, knocked everything. He fell on the floor. I mean, it's just a terrible mess. We just had a comment. Can you throw that comment back up? There you go.
Oh.
There you go. Don't you take that one. Don't start crying now. Like you always
says, "Hi Tim, we're glad to have Tony, but we miss you, Peggy and Kathy." Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that.
Pony.
It's good to have Tony back.
Yeah.
We've missed Tony, and we're absolutely glad he's come back to us safe.
Yep. Okay. Remember, you can type your questions or comments in, and I'm not sure. I've never been through YouTube on this. By the way, we have some sessions that are recorded of the micro moment. I think we have 3 or 4 on YouTube. You just go to YouTube and put in micro moment trading. You're going to pull up on what order they come up, but they're full sessions of. You see Mike on there, and they usually last about an hour, and you see exactly precisely what you get if you subscribe to that service. And it's just like being there. It's just the tree's no good because it's several days over, several months over. It's over. So you might give that a try. You put in micromomenttrading.com, I guess, or just put in micro moment trading into YouTube, and it'll pop up. Okay, so Randy.
There you go, Micah.
Randy, what's going on with you?
Hey, good. Nice weather out here we're having, Tim. Yep.
Yeah.
It's nice not to have rain for a couple of days, so
yeah, indeed.
Be cooling down a bit too. So I do a couple of things here at Micro Moment Trading. I didn't do any trade the moment or micro moment trading this morning. I've had the cable problems too, Micah, similar to you. But it's all been on the TV side, not on the internet side. So we've been going back and forth and to the internet, to the cable store, and on phones for hours and hours. They finally got the issue taken care of. They switched our serial number on our box to someone else's serial number, and so they screwed up 2 houses. So it looks like maybe they got it back under control about 10 minutes ago. So I didn't have time to just do the trade the moment. But on On Mondays, I teach the advanced charting. I think we're going to call it advanced charting for momentum. Weekly webinar. That's the coaching session that teaches how to use the proprietary advanced charting package, which basically takes 21 technical indicators and rolls them all into one chart. And I teach the easy to understand, easy to learn way to read that chart to identify the beginning of the new cycle. So it identifies the trends, the momentum, and the beginning of cycles. And so we use that information to, at this time, since the overall market is rising, we're buying calls. So we simply buy a call at the beginning of that rising cycle and then sell it for a profit as it continues to go up. So during the coaching webinar, and those webinars are being recorded as they're conducted. So you don't actually have to be on the webinar in order to get that training. You can watch it later on by watching the recording. But during the webinar itself, I go through about 35 different equities charts to teach how to read them, at the same time to look for a new entry position. And on Monday morning, we found Intel. So Intel was in a good, we call it a sweet spot. That's the beginning of the rising cycle with good momentum, good rising momentum, and entered Intel call during the webinar, and about 90 minutes later. Now, typically it takes a day or two for the profit to fill on those, but this one closed in 90 minutes for a 5% return. So it doesn't matter now what's happening to the market today, and today's a huge decline. I still haven't figured out exactly why, other than I guess because we hit all-time highs, people are taking their profits. But we have a big decline today, and with the momentum trade already in and out of a position, and that one just took the same day, just 90 minutes. And so that was a 5% return for this week. So we can wait till next week now to enter a new position. And there's always something going up when stuff is going down. There's always something going down when stuff's going up. So there's always some way to find a position that's in that new rising momentum to be able to get a profit every week. So that takes place on Mondays. That's every Monday. Now, of course, this next week it's going to be on Tuesday because Monday is a holiday. The markets are closed on Monday in observance of Labor Day. So hopefully everyone, if you're traveling, stay safe. If you're not traveling, stay safe. So have a good time this weekend. But the markets are closed on Monday, so I'll be conducting my webinar on Tuesday for the advanced charting. Now, that advanced charting can be used for any type of trading technique that you decide that you want to use. It's not just specific to any one kind of trading. So you can do covered calls. It definitely enhances your decision process for entry of a new covered call. Credit spreads, leaps, momentum trades, anything that you're deciding to do, your decision is going to be enhanced by using the advanced charting to identify the cycles of trends. Where is it in the cycle and trend, and is the momentum increasing or decreasing? So that's on Mondays. Then on Wednesdays, which yesterday I taught the covered call coaching session. That one went a little bit longer. It went actually 2.5 hours because a lot of new people are joining and they have lots of good questions. So I go through their questions and go through the teaching, coaching every single Wednesday. Those also are recorded and you can watch them later on. And most people will need to because there's so much teaching in there that you're probably not going to get it on the first pass. So you watch it over and over so that you can really learn the process. And a covered call, for those that don't know, because there's a lot of people that don't really know what a covered call is. A covered call is you buy a stock and you sell a call against it. That call that you sell gives the right to somebody else to buy the stock back from you at a set price up to a set date. They have an expiration. They're going to pay you for that right. They may not exercise that right. They may not ever get the stock from you, but they're going to pay you right up front anyway. So you're basically renting out that stock. And the way that we construct the covered calls is different than most other places are going to. we construct it with an in the money covered call. That means the stock can go up, sideways, or down, and we still get called out. And the whole idea is to get called out, sell that stock, get all your money back, and keep the profit. And that's how we generate weekly and monthly profits, by constantly selling calls against stock that we own. Now, on Wednesdays, I take it to a new level, and we use synthetic covered calls, which instead of buying the stock, which takes a lot of capital, I buy an option instead that uses a lot less capital, but it gives me the right to buy stock at a set price up to the expiration date. So I already know exactly what's going to happen, whether the stock goes up, down, or sideways, whether I get called out or I don't get called out. And then I sell calls against that and generate my weekly income. Last week, the positions, and also the way that I teach these techniques is I teach you how to do them. I show examples, but also then I show you real live positions. So I'm managing my own portfolio with all these covered calls for my own income. When I am going to, when I find a position that meets my requirements, and by the way, everything we teach is rule based. So we have a whole set of rules that you follow. So you look for positions that meet all the rules. When I find one and I'm getting ready to put it in my own portfolio, I send out an email that says, okay, I found one. Here's one that meets the rules, and this is what I'm getting ready to do. And then I put it in my own portfolio. So the goal of that email, when I send that email out, is a couple of things. One is you get to see real live action, exactly what's going on in the market. But secondly, you can place every single one of those positions in your virtual trading account as you're learning. So you're not risking any money while you're learning the process step by step by step. You're basically getting to watch over my shoulder to see exactly how the processes work and learn step by step by step by using your virtual trading platform. So not risking any money at all. So it's teaching you hands-on. You're getting to really see how the market is working. So last week, the positions that I entered, CRM, 5.9% return, 2 days, only $2.35 a share was invested. Hewlett Packard, 13.6% return, only 88 cents per share invested. That was a 4 days, entered on Monday, exit on Friday. And these exits are all the capital is returned plus a profit. XBI, which is an ETF for basically like biotech companies, 14.9% return, only 87 cents per share invested. That was a 4 day investment. VMware, 11.1%, only 90 cents a share invested, 4 days. Moderna, 11.1% return, only 90 cents a share invested, only 4 days of investment. And then Apple, 9.8% return. That was $4.50, actually $4.55 a share invested, and that was 3 days. So that was last week before the 4-for-1 split. So Apple was trading in the $500 range at that time. I didn't have to buy the shares at $500. I only invested $4.55 a share in that position and still generated 9.8% return. Now, one position that I entered last week, which is TLT, which is the 20-year Treasury bond ETF, that one did not close out to get all my capital back last week. So I had to manage that one. So there's a process that if the equity goes down too much, now it can go up, it can go sideways, it can go down. Because they're in the money calls, it'll still get called out. That means I get all my capital back and it locks in the profit. TLT did not. It went down more than I had that the chart said and that the position was set up. So I managed it into this week. Now it is it's over $5 in the money now, and it's actually going to be more profit when it closes out tomorrow than I would have got last Friday. So by managing the positions, I can continue to generate income week after week until it's called out again. And that's the success of this whole process, a whole set of techniques, whether it goes up, down, or sideways. There's always something to do. And so I show you how to do that, and you see it step by step by step all along the way. Oh, and by the way, Joe, a workshop for advanced charting is coming up next month. And you're muted, Joe, so we're not hearing what you're saying.
There
Yeah, I
you
had the coffee machine was going and making a lot of noise while ago, so I muted it. Yeah, that's right. That's on the 10th.
Yeah, October 10th. This is advance notice because I'm not sure that the notice has been sent out yet.
No, I think Micah's getting ready to send it out. What, today or tomorrow, something like that. I think, right? Yeah.
So this is advance notice for people that the workshop is coming up on October 10th of how to learn how to read that advanced chart to improve your decision.
And they'll be able to sign up and with all the info that Micah's going to be getting out to them. Yep. And there's Eric. Micah, want to take that one?
Sure. I noticed this morning that with both Q and SPY, there were great trades with the E1 basically bottomed out and essentially flat, but with every single other indicator just right. Yes. So what we're seeing with E1 right now is because of Apple, especially. I honestly haven't been watching Q. I've been staring at Apple. And what we're seeing is E1 is a short-term indicator, right? So when you get these massive moves on Apple, I mean, I just went back and looked at the chart. You're getting stair-step downs of $2 a piece, right? I mean, that's something that priced the average day movement maybe $2 to $3. So when you have this intense amount of volume, all that's happening is E1 just isn't big enough, right? So when that happens, if the movement is big enough, it normally respect E1, of course. But when the movement gets big enough, you almost have to start looking at E2 and E3 because the size of the move turns it into a long-term move. If you thought of zooming out, right, past that, we're looking at the recent 20 to 30 minutes. And if that screen is covered by the drop, for instance, when you zoom out, you're still going to be able to see that. So it's just the move is big enough to work into the longer term indicators. So when you see E1 bottom out like that directly because of the size of the move, then you can start to look to E2, 3, and 4, the little bit longer terms, and they're going to act more like E1 because the move is big enough to affect them not as quickly as it would E1, but a lot more quickly than we're used to seeing on an average day.
Yeah, Tim, I think what's interesting about Micah and Apple, you remember the big breakup, and you noticed this morning, he said he's intensely watching her again. Yeah, so it's going to be just the same before. He developed all those techniques. He had the squeeze, he had the leg, he had the pinch. He probably had a tickle technique. We just never heard it. But
I think Micah has got his eye on her again for very good reason. She's become very much available again. Yeah, and available. I want to add one more. Just one more thing is, just because E1 is at the bottom of the case doesn't mean that it will not continue down. I mean, we don't see it on E1, but it doesn't mean that price won't continue to go down. And a great indicator is, and Micah just said this, we look at Apple and Microsoft, because Apple and Microsoft they're the two biggest stocks in Q's 100 of NASDAQ. And when they're moving, you'll see that it's moving Q as well. So even though Q's E1 may be at the bottom, and we have to look at other indicators, Apple and Microsoft can continue to pull it down, even though it's at the bottom of the case. So those are other indicators that keep in mind that we can take a look at for a bit of a preview of what's going on with Q.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say one other thing about what Randy was talking about. The difference between Randy's techniques and Micah's is Micah doesn't have an inventory of stocks. He has no portfolio. He's in those options and out of those things within seconds, and never anything overnight or over a weekend or anything. Randy's he actually, warehouses these things and trades them and rents them. We call it renting. It's like buying a house and then he rents them each day and each month, each week, various techniques. So he does have a portfolio, and he makes unusually huge returns on that. And it's also, his technique's really good. If you've got existing stock, you just don't want to part with it. You inherited it from your grandmother, somebody like that, and you just want to own it. But all you're getting is dividends if it's a dividend paying stock. And dividends typically aren't much percentage wise. You can use his technique, keep that stocks, and rent these calls out on it every day, every week. It used to be they only expired on the third Friday. Now they expire every Friday, and even during the week on some of them. But you can make tremendous amounts of money and still have the stock your grandmother gave you. And so you can, his techniques is good for that. And you can find out how to sign up for his technique as you can the micro moments and other things on our website, www.micromomenttrading.com. Okay.
Joe, and along with that, I also teach what the cover calls. I have a Thursday evening coaching session that goes through the more basic processes. And tonight, the special part of what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through what we call the weekly fast cash, which is selling that option out of the money on a position that you don't want to get called out, and how you can generate weekly income week after week after week on that stock that you just want to keep keeping anyway. And I'm going to go through that entire process tonight with lots of examples.
That's great. Randy, how does one get onto that call on Thursdays?
It's a subscription service, and you can send an email to support@micromomenttrading.com and get registered for that if you would like to do that. That's every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time. The webinar lasts as long as there are questions. So it's designed for those that have lots of questions on how to do these processes. And I stay on that webinar as long as there are questions, and more people are joining it. And so there's lots of questions. So it's lasting upwards of 2 hours, but we have no time limit. As long as you have a question, I keep going through it. You get to watch my screen, see exactly how to do everything, and get all your questions answered. So it's a great way to get involved and learn these processes.
A lot of the people that take our micro moment trading also take his seminars, and so it's a good mix there. And Randy, you have so many of those things going on, and they last so long. Do you still have that ankle bracelet we have on you?
Well, it keeps me indoors. I got to have something to do.
Exactly. Exactly. There you go.
Socialize anymore, so.
Yeah, there you go.
We're still waiting so Tim and I can get together with get some coffee out there with a couple of folks, but we're waiting for the all clear time.
Yeah, when it's safe again to walk outside.
when there was a point in time
when they'll open some stores again.
Yeah, there was a point in time when Randy and I were giving those 2-day seminars all the time, just he and I, and they were live before the virus hit. And you talked about something lasting long. I mean, Micah, he would make you look like a fast talker. He would talk and he would talk and he would talk. And those were just supposed to be like, we had 3 or 4 hours before lunch and 3 or 4 hours after lunch. And sometimes we wouldn't get out of there. We'd be there for an extra 10 or 12 hours just the course of a day. So, but I bug Micah all the time about talking, and now I can let you share what happens. He does more than you, Micah. So he just keeps on teaching like funny. Like funny.
Speaking of teaching, from Eric's question, I have one thought in my mind that I know we're way past it, but I got to go back for a second. Eric, also look at the M1. So M1 is a very hard indicator to turn. Yeah. On a put, it goes down, and then it flattens out as those Bollingers tighten as the move ends. If you're looking for continuation, when the timing you're talking about, when E1 is going to be bottomed out, you'll see E1 turn down again. Once you see that corner on M1 and it actually revitalizes, that's another good thing on a fresh Bollinger opening. Then you can disregard E1 if M1 is actually turning down. Sorry. All right, we can go back to where we were.
Yeah, and for the people that haven't attended with those, what he was just telling Eric sees that on that chart. That he would be seeing it, and that's why these explanations are so valuable, because you can actually see what he's talking about. So, do you have some more people down there, Marcus? You need to put up. Okay.
I think that's it.
No, there's one for James. How long will the free 2-week MMT promotion be available? That's not Michael. That's not on anything to do with micro moment trading. It's Randy's. Randy.
No, the 2-week is for micro moment.
Oh, is it for micro moment? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. We changed it. Yeah, that's been up now for several times. Oh, you want to answer that question then? 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
No. He's asking how much longer.
Yeah, we haven't decided exactly when. We had some people in special circumstances that were in, a busy point in their work season, so they want to. They're just too busy with work to do it right now. They work at that time of the day, something like that. So we haven't made a final decision on that. It won't be for too much longer, but we're just working with people on it. So.
Yep. Okay. Very good. And Tim, are you doing trades?
I am.
What have you done since we've been on the podcast?
Oh, I did a put earlier. Pulled 12 cents on a Q put earlier. That last down leg.
Okay, now that's a huge return. What'd you pay for that? You pulled 12 cents, right?
I paid $2.40.
Okay, for the folks out there that aren't, so it'd be 12 cents, right?
Yeah.
Divided by 2.40, and that's 5% return. Now, in just a few seconds, he did that, and you say, "Well, that's all." Well, no, but that's 5%. He'd do it again. I mean, if he had 1,000 contracts, or 500 contracts or 200 contracts, it would not only be a tremendous amount of money, but you do that once a day, and there's about 220 trading days in a year. So that would be, if you just paid that 5%, it'd be it'd be on $2,000 worth, instead of making just 6% a week. If you do that daily, you're making 25 or 30 cents a week. It's huge, absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And Tim made 30, 40 cents. Mike and those guys made 12, 13 cents today, and percent, not cents, but percents. So that's huge.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, almost all of our trades beat a money market, any single trade. Any week, we easily beat most IRA returns. The fact is, you don't have to make that much to beat anything out there with our technique. And the best part, the thing I love about this, we're in cash 98% of the time. We're in cash overnight. We don't risk. I know that some people can look at what we do and think, well, it's highly risky. It is not highly risky. Our trades are well considered. They are guided by the algorithm of these great charts that we get, and we make decisions based on the charts. There's really not much risk in what
and you never ever speculate. They never go into a trade thinking, oh man, we're going to try to make 12 cents of this or 10 cents. Man, if they get in there and they got 2 or 3 cents profit, they'll just hop out. Now a lot of times it moves so fast they'll get the 12 or 13 or 20 cents and before they can even get out. And conversely, if it starts down, they really get perfected. Micah's really good at getting out of things when they go down, as is Tim. And Randy doesn't have that big a problem because he's not. He's in trades a little longer. So
I'm a little.
The critical part to all that, Joe, is you have to have that proprietary intraday streaming chart in order to do this process.
Yeah.
You can't do it without that. So you got to be able to subscribe to that through the micro moment trading. That's the critical part.
We got a few minutes to go, Randy. Explain that then. Everybody will recognize the beauty of your technique on this Amazon deal. It was last week or something, because the leverage there was just incredible. Explain that deal if you still remember it.
Oh, you mean the Apple?
I thought it was Amazon.
I did last week was Apple. The week before I did Amazon.
Well, okay, what you still remember the week before? Which
Yeah, I think I probably got it here. Let me see.
reason because Amazon's is what, over $1,000, $2,000 or something like that.
Well, Amazon is over $3,400.
Yeah.
Let me grab my Amazon here.
Because this shows the fantastic things that can happen with that particular technique. I think, Mike, what we need to do is get a video of Tim doing these trades and like that run that somewhere perpetually, because his head moves back, his eyes squint. That's right, yeah. Rap artists could do songs to it, you know.
Yeah, we're always looking because we have our charts and graphs and got all our computer screens all over the place here. And even though we're talking on the podcast, we're still watching what's going on with our stuff. But anyway, Amazon. So Amazon is trading over $3,000 a share. Like right now, it's $3,378 a share. But I only invested $4.25 per share in Amazon by buying an option to sell another option against it. And I did that on Tuesday, and then on Friday it closed out and I got $5 back. So I invested $4.25, and 3 days later I got $5 back. So that is 75 cents per share profit on $4.25. So 75 divided by 425, that's a 17.6% return in from Tuesday to Friday on a $3,000+ stock. But the issue is it only had to stay above 3,000 for me to get all my money back. It was trading at $3,200. So it could have dropped $200 more and I still would have got all of my capital back and locked in that 75 cents per share profit. That's what we do, is we trade in the money covered calls with a large percentage of decrease can happen to that stock, and we still get called out, get all of our capital back, and lock in our returns all within the same week. And that's what we try to do. We try to be back to cash basically every Friday afternoon, because you never know what's going to happen over the weekend or the next week. You never know what's going to happen overnight like today.
Tim actually gets up and will do a song every now and then with his guitar back there, one of his guitars.
That's right.
He has the Apple song, and Mikey, you ought to get the Apple song. You can maybe use that to romance Apple, you know.
There we
And
go.
Tim makes up those EDM things or whatever that they're called.
What?
What are those EDM or something?
Right. Electronic dance music.
Yeah.
EDM. Yep.
I never heard those initials. I've heard the music, but I've never heard the initials. Okay, guys.
Could you throw James' last question up really quick?
Okay.
Comment box. Yeah, I wanted to address this really quick. Thank you. I'm in the same situation. Busy work will want to sign up to the 2-week promo in 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's going to be all right. I can't guarantee it, but go ahead and message support at micromomenttrading.com and at least let us know ahead of time, just so we can have the option to accommodate that. I don't know if it will be available in 2 weeks, but
well, let's do this. Since he went to the trouble of being on here, he's asked that question now. Why don't you shoot Micah an email at micah@micromomenttrading.com, right? And what Micah is going to do is give you plenty of time, and when you're ready to take it, within the next 3 or 4 weeks, if it takes that long, he'll give it to you. So, cool. Or you can say you can get the special price or whatever it is. So,
sounds good.
Okay, guys, we're about out of time. Oh gosh, it's 10:49. We're way out of time. Thank you very much for being here, Micah. Thank you for being here, Tim and Randy. And thank our folks there for listening. Go to our website, www.micromomenttrading.com. Sign up for the free cow report, the one that's published over 20 years now, and that has all of Randy's trades in it also. And you can talk to these guys or communicate with these guys through that cow report if you want to. And we appreciate you being here, and we will see you next Thursday. Okay. Bye bye. See you guys.
Have a great weekend, everybody.